From appearing in Speed and making the film a blockbuster, to never returning for the follow-up and watching the franchise sink, Keanu Reeves isn't messing around. Now that Speed 3 has been confirmed, it sparked the good old debate once more. Will Keanu Reeves feature in the latest production of the franchise? And you wouldn't even believe what the man himself has to say about that. Apparently, the John Wick actor is all in, on one condition of course. Reeves first appeared in the 1994 movie as the LAPD SWAT officer Jack Traven, the one who must prevent an explosive rigged bus from detonating if its speed dips below 50 miles per hour. And that little production starring him and Sandra Bullock was a turning point, not just for the franchise, but for the actor himself. It was one of Keanu's first starring roles that established him as an action hero, and made the movie an instant sensation. But sadly for the franchise, after Speed became a hit, Keanu Reeves and Sandra Bullock did not return for 1997's Speed 2: Cruise Control, which is regarded as one of the worst follow-ups of all time. Now that's a big letdown, huh? After all that, it makes sense for the actor to protect his household name, and have some terms and conditions regarding his feature, right? So what's his? Keanu Reeves was recently asked if he would voluntarily return for the much-discussed Speed 3 with Bullock.
Can we get a Speed 3?
I can't say never, because I'm standing here on Matrix Resurrections.
Yes.
And at the end of the trilogy, I did die. So you can't say never.
During an interview with Access Hollywood at the John Wick Chapter 4 premiere, the man responded in an instant. He said, "Of course," but then the man went ahead and added a clause.
What would it take to get you two back on camera for another go-round?
A great story, and a great script.
But you'd be down.
Of course.
If the franchise wanted him to return, they needed a great story, a great script. Sounds pretty reasonable, doesn't it? Besides, the man has always been pretty particular about his roles. Even in the original film, Reeves not only starred, but also had a significant role in creating the role of Jack Traven. The actor demanded that uncredited co-writer Joss Whedon entirely rewrite the role, from a maverick hotshot to the polite guy trying not to get anybody killed, because he didn't like how he was portrayed in Graham Yost's original screenplay. And later on, the John Wick actor refused to appear in the sequel, even though that's what the plan was initially, but he decided against it due to the writing. The Canadian actor didn't like the script produced by Randall McCormick and Jeff Nathanson, so he excused himself from participating in Speed 2. Judging from the way the film was perceived, I'd say the actor was spot on with his decision, and it became clear to everyone in the audience later on as well. So it makes sense for him to have a clause for his return. The movie may have aided in Reeves' big break, but now the circumstances have changed. The production team needs a foolproof way to save the franchise, and Keanu has a duty to his fans and his craft. Besides, just wanting a great script isn't really a requirement either, is it? That's pretty basic. The prospect of a third Speed film has already been discussed by director Jan de Bont. He stated that everything depends on the strength of the script and the cast's availability, so that seems to align with the actor's preference. Now, the Matrix actor will reportedly become available if there is a strong script, but Bullock just seems to be making light comments on the prospect of Speed 3 in her remarks. So, who knows? Although it's unknown whether a hypothetical threequel will follow Yost, or go in a different route in light of Reeves and de Bont's remarks, it is certain that a strong script is essential to the success of Speed 3, and I, for one, am excited to see what they come up with. But where exactly did they go wrong? Before the release of Speed 2: Cruise Control, the first film's screenwriter proposed a sequel that would eventually become a Morgan Freeman action movie. The initial idea for Speed 2 was changed into a forgotten action film starring Christian Slater and Morgan Freeman. The 1994 action film Speed was the most recent in a series that used the Die Hard template in an unusual setting. The film managed to reinforce Keanu Reeves' popularity and also served as Sandra Bullock's big break. Then, Speed 2: Cruise Cruise Control, which Keanu declined to be in despite the fact that it didn't set up a sequel, was released in 1997 to appalling reviews. Speed 2's location, which was utilized on director Jean de Bont's request, was one aspect that received the most concern. But that's not all. Apparently, there were a handful of ways that the movie could have gone. Graham Yost, the original writer of Speed, subsequently, I remembered the initial sequel proposal to script apart. Another idea was to call the movie The Flood. It would follow Keanu and Bullock's characters as they travel to the Midwest for a vacation only to become involved in a theft in a flooded town. When this was turned down, a new version of it, titled Hard Rain, was created. That plotline would have followed Slater's character being pursued by Freeman's thieves through a flood-stricken village in order to find some buried money.
Hey, Jim! He's over this way!
Very Uncharted of them, huh? Although Hard Rain is a widely forgotten, fun action movie, it does contain certain Speed 2 precursors. The franchise was also shown on the C in Yost's second pitch, although Full Speed seems far more powerful than Cruise Control. Yeah, that production went through a lot. But the question is, will Keanu Reeves and Sandra Bullock's Speed 3 ever be seen? Truth is, Keanu has returned to some of his most well-known projects, like the Matrix films, and then he made a comeback with John Wick as well. Still, it seems like he's avoided a Speed comeback, and so has Bullock. The actress has actually frequently criticized Cruise Control in the years that followed. Admittedly, some of it was well-deserved too. Yost has claimed that when he and the filmmakers discussed a potential Speed 3 with Keanu in the early 2010s, the actor was entirely indifferent. So, like many, the creator has the impression that Speed 2 had effectively destroyed interest in subsequent film, and that it would be best not to go back. But considering the actor's recent comments, I'm hoping a compromise can be reached. The kind where they produce a kick-ass script, and Reeves complies with an equally kick-ass performance. What do you think? Perhaps you guys haven't noticed, but this isn't the first time Keanu Reeves has turned down major roles. Yes, the man has been in a lot of well-known movies, but he has also passed up a lot of significant roles. In the years since he began acting in the mid-1980s, the adored A-lister has accumulated a remarkable body of work on the big screen, one that encompasses everything from classic sci-fi blockbusters to smash hit action pictures, and even some fan-favorite comedy. At the same time, Reeves has passed on a fair number of projects along the road that had since fallen into the development category. The most well-known instance of this is when he was under consideration to portray Wolverine in Fox's initial live-action X-Men film. That was before Hugh Jackman was chosen for the role. That's pretty big, right? But that's not all. There are many rumors about the specific MCU characters he's been eyed for in the past. According to Kevin Feige, Marvel Studios has approached Reeves about playing a role in the MCU for almost every film they make, but the timing of it just never fit. Now, I don't know about you, but to me, Keanu and Marvel seem to be a match made in heaven. Don't you think? That's a wrap on Keanu and his one condition to return for Speed 3.